So that will bring us to the second semifinal here, which features top to bottom Doug Collette in the Mac Tools car, the U.S. Army dragster of Tony Schumacher, the Al-Anabi entry of Khalid Belushi, and the Optima Batteries dragster driven by J.R. Todd. J.R. Todd, of course, driving for Connie Collette. There's an open seat at Bob Vandergriff Racing, and back in the pits, we caught up with the newest member of BVR Racing. It's the three-time champion, Larry Dixon.
Myself and JR, we're literally during the weekend to Vegas eating lunch in Brownsburg, Indiana. And all of a sudden Saturday rolls around and he's got a deal, and I text him, I'm like, hey, you didn't talk about this yesterday. And he goes, I didn't know about it yesterday. And then so, you know, that rolls into a full-time deal for him and rolls into a deal for me. So it's strange how the last 2 weeks have gone, but it's so far it's got a happy ending to it.
Now, you ain't the only one. J.R. Todd, it's been a whirlwind for him as well. Well, Geico Tractionary time. Mike Dunn is going to educate us on the supercharger.
It's all about making that 40,000 horsepower, 10,000 per. You need a good supercharger. It's a housing that contains the rotors that are turned by a belt connected to the engine. The rotors compress the airflow in the engine, adding more air to the cylinders. In this case, a lot more air, which means more fuel can be added, which results in a lot more power.
Nicely done. Well, with Spencer Massey being knocked out, the man who won this race the last 2 years, does this open the door for Tony Schumacher, the runner-up to Spencer Massey at the 4Wides the last 2 years? He did win in Las Vegas. Stat guy, you got more on the U.S. Army driver?
We definitely do. We combine the numbers of all the racers in Top Fuel, 16 drivers, their race wins. It comes up to 173 Wallies. But think about this. 73 of them belong to Tony Schumacher. The only one missing from his resume is the 4Wide.
In the first round, Doug Collette was expecting to see a 378 up on that board by his crew chief, Jim Oberhofer. It ran a 379. I just asked Jimmo what he was expecting here. He said, oh, I will run a 379. He's thinking that's going to be good enough to advance to the final.
Doug on the other side of the run, Tony Schumacher missed winning the first 4Wides by 4 inches.
Yeah, it's been pretty amazing here at the 4Wide, but right now you got 4 amazing cars on that starting line. The 2 quickest from the previous round was J.R. Todd and Doug Collette with a 378 and a 379 last time. Schumacher went 81. He was right there.
Who are the 2 this time? Doug Collette and J.R. Todd.
How about
Team
that?
Collette into the finals for Jim Oberhofer and, of course, the legend, the bounty hunter, Connie Collette. Doug Collette's best start in his 17-year history continues.
I'll tell you what. It's pretty amazing. I mean, J.R. Todd comes out there and runs a 382 laps time to move on. Now, Doug Collette and Tony Schumacher had identical elapsed times of 384.7 for those 2 drivers, but Doug Collette had the better reaction time by about, well, actually a little bit over 200ths of a second, and as a result, Doug Collette is going to be advancing along with his teammate, J.R. Todd.
So the ladder for the finals, the 4 drivers now that will go to the starting line with only the first to cross the finish line. That's the man who'll hoist the Wally. The guys that have that opportunity, Sean Langdon, Antron Brown, J.R. Todd, and Doug Collette. Sean Langdon with the first choice of lanes. The second, J.R. Todd, who continues to impress. Well, females have 98 combined national event wins in the 4 professional categories. And in 2008, this is what it looked like when Ashley Force became the first female winner in funny cars. And speaking of funny car, the second round or the semifinals, 4Wide Nationals, it's next.